Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. Alright, I'm ready to start on the next phase of the reconfiguration of the pool area and to the planter. I gotta go get a rototiller and dig a whole bunch of stuff out. Let me show you what's going on today. So you remember this is how we left things last time. I had the border of the walkways planned out. I had it all dug out around the perimeter, so we had a nice smooth area to work with there. And what we're going to do today is get in here, because when I start putting bricks into these little channels here, I want the first brick to be completely submerged, because then the soil will build into it and it'll become a good solid anchor for everything that I build on top of it. If I build it right on the surface, it's possible it could settle some, and I don't want that to happen. So since this is kind of the low end of the yard, what I need to do is excavate all of this all the way to that center pole there, and all the way across, so that I can pull all this dirt out, get it on the other side of the pool, so that when I set the level with the laser level, which will be all based on what's going on this pole right here, I'll put like a piece of tape or something around there where I want the line to be, and then all I gotta do is set the laser level so that it's at the same level as the line on the pole, and then I'll have a constant line that I can work here all the way around, which will keep this perfectly level and not make it look like it's going up and down as it goes around. That's important, because you got to do this right the first time, because if you don't get it right, you know, it's going to be you're going to have to take the whole thing apart in order to fix it, and I don't want to do that. So I gotta go get a rototiller today. We gotta rototill all this out and drag it over here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the first side, the bottom half here, and then I'm gonna go get another rototiller again, pull out this whole side here, and drag all that plus the stuff that was on this side back to this side, so I can do the first level on the back there. Then once we get that done, the next step is I need to set up the borders here for the walkway. And I've kind of decided I'm going to get railroad ties to become the borders. So there'll be a big railroad tie on this side and a big railroad tie on this side. And all this dirt that I'm going to rototill out of here will end up inside this and become the base for the walkway, so that I can put quality soil in here. And so that's sort of the plan so far. I also decided that I'm going to make a little bit of like an area here in the middle, and so it's not going to go to a right angle here like it does here. I'm going to maybe do a 45-degree angle this way all the way around, so there'll be kind of a big open space in the middle. Maybe I could put a bench or a chair or something out here. It'd be kind of cool, right? So this project's evolving as we go along, but that's where we are right now. Let's go get a rototiller. Alright, so I'm back with the rototiller. I've taken down all the little strings that are going across or marking the pathways. They don't matter right now. I still got the little orange stakes in the ground, so I can reset that up once the rototilling is done. I've also gone through here and kind of painted a line here. I kind of basically want to get everything cut back to that line. So that way what I can do is I can put the laser level right here, set my point on the pole, on the bar there, and then I'll know straight across there what is level all the way around. I know I've gone through this a bunch of times, but you know, maybe I'm just trying to convince myself that's going to work, but there's only one way to find out. That's we just start digging all this stuff out. So that's the next task. Oh, and it rained here about a week ago too, so I don't know whether that's going to make things easier or harder. We'll find out. Alright, a couple hours have passed by. I originally started out doing a row or two with the rototiller and then digging it out into the wheelbarrow and transferring it to the other side of the yard. I decided kind of midstream that maybe that wasn't the most efficient use of my resources. I have limited time with a rototiller. I have unlimited time with a wheelbarrow. So I decided at the end just to go back and forth over here, dig it down really so it's really loose down there, and you know, go back and forth over it a whole bunch of times. So I got through anything that's down there. So now I ought to just be able to move it with a shovel, and I can do that a little bit at a time over the next following days and weeks to get that. See, a lot of times these big jobs, you make them small by doing it a little bit at a time. So maybe you get out here and throw 3 or 4 wheelbarrows of dirt around, and then you're done for a while, and then you come back and do it again, and after a while you get the whole project done and you get a whole bunch of stuff done. And you know, it doesn't seem like that big of a task when you break it up into little parts. I also discovered something interesting when I was out here. I've been operating on the assumption all along that they didn't put any sprinkler lines under the pool. Apparently I was wrong. Rototiller hit that, so we'll have to do some repairs at some point. But at this point, I think we've got the bottom half of the yard kind of excavated out now. Like I said, I just got to move that all to the top end of the yard here, where it'll be stored while we set up the level of the bricks at the bottom end, and then we'll reverse the whole thing and do this all again. So I'm going to bring the rototiller back because we're kind of getting to the end of the day, and this is kind of a comfortable breaking point, I think. So I'm going to wrap this video up by saying thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. So I was sitting down to edit that video that you just watched, and I realized I got a little bit of a technical problem. A couple of my hard drives, including the one I do all my vlog stuff, isn't showing up on my system. Now, I recently did a reboot because they did an update to the operating system. I thought, okay, well, maybe that's something, maybe something glitched there. So I did a reboot again to you know, see if that cleared the problem. It didn't. Now, you know, sometimes that can be really bad news when you have a hard drive doesn't come up. Sometimes that means you lost the hard drive. But it seemed odd to me because I actually had 2 hard drives that stopped at the same time. That's unlikely that I'd lose both of them at the same time. So I did start doing a little bit of digging to try and figure out exactly what is going on. And the first thought is to try and, you know, when you're trying to troubleshoot a problem, is try and eliminate what, you know, figure out what it isn't. Because sometimes if you can simplify the process, you can kind of replace little bits and pieces and find out where you're going wrong. So the first thing I did is, well, this. Now, the center of everything on my computer system is a series of USB hard drives. I actually have 2 of these 8 terabyte drives. One of them is just my general backup. The other one is my Escaping the Mouse drive. I have one for Jordan. I have a couple of just regular backup drives here. And the combination of these give me access to, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 terabytes of storage. Now, the Escaping the Mouse drive, which usually goes here, and this backup drive, they're 2 of the same drive. I bought them at the same time, and those are the 2 drives that failed on me. And like I said, that struck me as a little odd. They don't usually go at the same time. It's far more likely it's something that's common between the 2 of them. And I started realizing I got this little glowing light thing here that's up my USB hub. Basically, I run one USB port down to the back of the computer. It goes up to the hub, and then everything plugs into the hub. It neatens up the process a lot because everything can just stay in the back here. But if something goes wrong with the hub, you could start losing hard drives. So my first thought was, okay, let's get the hub out of the circuit here. So I grabbed the drive that I needed, which is really my Escaping the Mouse drive, and I just plugged it directly into the computer, and it came right up. And so that's good news. That means I didn't lose the hard drive. It's probably just the USB hub. And if that's the case, I'm going to spend a little bit more time tracking that down, and we may have to replace that piece. But good news, I didn't lose anything. I know people say get the cloud, but you know, that's not really a good option for me, because cloud is good if you have 3 or 4 or 500 megabytes, but I have got 25 terabytes, and yeah, you can get cloud storage for that, but that's going to cost a lot of money. So I kind of go with the backup drives like this, and this is kind of the way I save stuff. So don't ever say I don't give you little behind the scenes looks at what goes on in making a vlog. That's just part of the fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.